y'all. Thank you for joining me for my Morning Thoughts Special Edition. So, this is not my first thought of the day, but I will be coming to you from time to time with special editions. So, it may be something that I've been planning to talk to you about, or it might be something that just popped up that I felt like I needed to share with you. But thank you for joining me. This is your host, Barbara Scorza, and it's my Morning Thoughts Special Edition. Hey, sunshine.
That's me.
Did you notice I didn't actually say good morning, sunshine? Because it's not actually morning. Today is my 6th-month anniversary. Thank you. Thank you so much. I would have been a little disappointed if I didn't get the crowd from you. Today is my 6th-month anniversary of my morning thought. And today we have a special edition. I'm going to be talking to my son, Kendrick. And when I said, "Hey, sunshine," and he said, "That's me," I remember one time we went to Chick-fil-A and he placed his order and you give a name and the guy behind the counter says, "Can I have the name?" And he said, "Beautiful." And the guy said, "Huh?" He says, "Beautiful." So he called his order. He said, "I have an order for beautiful." And I think you've even used the name Sunshine before. That's
Nah,
my
I just use
boy.
beautiful.
That's my
I say
boy.
that was always looking.
All right. Well, guys, I want to thank you for always listening and for the feedback that I get. I just love it, love it, love it. And I want to hear more, more, more. But today, for my 6th-month anniversary, I had been trying to decide what would be a good way to celebrate. I wanted something different, like a good way to celebrate it. And I thought, what better way than to allow you to have an opportunity to get to know me a little better? And what if you did that through the eyes of my son?
You corny. I love it.
All right, Kendrick. So just first of all, just tell them a little bit about you.
Okay. Well, my name is Kendrick, as you heard. Same last name. That being Scorza. I live in New York City.
New
Um,
York City.
I know, crazy. Queens to be specific. Astoria to be even more specific. Gave you the borough and the neighborhood. And I live out here in New York. I've been out here for about 2 years. I
Crazy.
don't know for yeah, it'll be 2 years on the 20th of this month. So July 20th, I will have
Wow.
lived in New York for 2 years.
Wow.
I know it's crazy. Imagine being able to pay your rent for 2 years. Not many can say they've done it. I barely can say I do it. And I work concessions at various Broadway theaters across the city. In my free time, I like to play video games, watch television, call my mom, and a list of other things that I won't bore you all with. But I am very glad to be a part of this joyous occasion, the 6-month anniversary for my morning thought. Yeah, shout outs to Barbara Scorza, producer, brain trust, everything in between. But yeah, that's a little bit about me. I'm sure for the older listeners, Barbara's told you her story, so mine's pretty much the same. I was right there, just happened to be like 30 years younger. So
All right. Well, thank you, Kendrick. I'm really excited that you're here. And I thought like a fun way to get to know me would be through the eyes of my son. Because, kids don't really give you much grace.
none.
I remember one time um, I was leading a Bible study, a women's Bible study, and I keep fading out in the
I know you like you're Barbara than you're Casper.
right.
You gotta pick a spot. playing.
I'm just gonna stay there. Okay. So I had leading a women's Bible study. And one of the ladies in my Bible study said something, and she said, "And you're so wise." And Kendrick says, "I don't see what's so wise about you."
Mm-hmm.
So your kids don't really give you grace. So I thought this might be a good way to get to know me. So Kendrick, what was it like growing up in the Scorza household? I'm telling you, this is bothering me that I am fading out. I think I might need to take that off. It's really bothering me. Like I cannot concentrate.
Oh, okay. You want me to answer your question while you still being
Yes,
Casper?
yes.
Um, so, but now we have different backgrounds.
I was trying. It
That's
just looks
okay.
so
I'll
weird.
I'll I'll put on my morning. Uh, that's fine. To keep you on track, I. But growing up in the Scorza household, uh, it was eclectic to say the least. I don't know how much my mom has shared about us because, fun fact, when my mom was teaching this women's Bible study, I would love when I would go to church and somebody would tell me about something I did at my house because Barbara used me as an example with the scripture. So we were like famous low key in our little town in North Little Rock, Arkansas, because it's a small place. Everybody knows everybody. And my mom loves to air out people's business. I
Oh,
remember growing up, one thing that she would say is like, you don't want nobody to know, don't do it.
that's
And
exactly what I was about to say.
yeah, I know. And a little annoying, no confidentiality, but it happens, right? It is what it is. We love being source material. I didn't mention this earlier, but I went to school for musical theater. So I know a thing or two about performance. And yeah, my mom's a performer, to say the least. She might have told you that she wasn't nurtured in her like her abilities, but she definitely got some material from us. So um aside from that though, it was pretty good. I always talk about my mom in like two different lives. There was like Fun Barbara, and then there's just Barbara. And the just Barbara is her once she like refound the Lord, I like to say. Because I don't think she ever like strayed away, but she just did things differently. Um, One thing in our house when it came to discipline, and I'll end with something nicer, is Barbara didn't really like, she wasn't big on spare the rod, spoil the child in the context of like how people like to misconstrue it. Because I was actually talking to her about this a few weeks ago. So growing up as an African American, a lot of people, we're religious people. And one phrase that they love to hand out before they hand out a whooping is spare the rod, spoil the child. I'm not saying my mom was the one who was doing the whipping. I'm gonna leave them a name. But I thought, oh yeah, you gotta hand out whippings. But really what it means is it's a shepherd and his sheep and use the rod to guide the sheep so they don't stray away from the path. And for the longest time, I really thought it meant we gonna knock out these sheep and then just take them with us. I really thought that. And so the way that my mom did her discipline is instead of hitting us, she had words for days and we use scripture to add like insult to injury. So imagine you got a paper cut and then you was eating some French fries after and you get some salt in your cut. That's how Barbara did it with the scripture. So like the scripture hit the little and then just a little sprinkle on top. Now, in better news, because like I said, that's not even really all that serious. Another thing that I really enjoyed being in my house is that there was no shortage of fun. Me, my brother, his three children, we were all comedy. And the bookends, as Barbara, I don't know if she said in previous episodes or not, me and my youngest nephew, Kevin, we, if you was looking for trouble, it was either me or it was either him. But the best part about that is that we're the most functional in the family. No shade to you, Josh and Aubrey. We love you. Y'all are functional. Y'all are great. But it's hard being the favorite. And aside from those like fun moments as well in the house, I really appreciated the love that my mom always kept in the home. She always wanted home to be a safe place. Never wanted, outside was outside. We don't care what you do outside. When you pull up in the house, you should feel like a little refuge. And I always feel that when I'm going home, especially in my older years, because now that I'm adult and I realize that adulthood is overrated, I really wish I was still at home. But I always enjoy when I get to go back. So that's like a short but long version of what it was like growing up in the Scorza sanctuary, which is what we call our house.
Thank you, Kendrick. I was actually going to say that. I have a blog. I actually have two blogs, so perhaps this is a shameless plug, but maybe not, since this whole thing is about me.
Facts.
I,
Louder for those in the back.
I have My Morning Thought, which is what we're doing, My Morning Thought. So I do have a website called My Morning Thought, but then I also do a blog post, and it's under barbarascorza.com. But the background drop of it is Scorza Sanctuary. And that is what I always wanted to provide. Like in our home, I wanted it to be a safe place. I did want, like, because the world is mean and evil and it's hard, and you get outside and there's lots of hard stuff that you have to deal with. But when you came inside, I wanted it to be, at least feel a sense of peace. When the kids were younger, as they got older, it was harder to do all the time because everybody was going every which way, from performing in a play to playing soccer to playing football to running track. So it was harder once they got older. But when they were younger, we always sat around the table and ate dinner together, and we'd have conversation at the dinner table. And I always thought that was, it was really cool. And one of the things that I miss most about having everybody at home is sitting around the table and just laughing and having fun, because we'd have some comical conversations sometime at the table, and we play games.
Yeah,
So,
hashtag alphabet game.
yeah,
Never forget.
yeah.
That's an inside joke. Y'all don't get it.
So, well, thank you, Kendrick, and y'all. I didn't pay him for this, I promise. So
Not yet. I'm a biller after the episode.
for you parents who have kids and you're still in the thick of it, I just want to know, when you grow up, there is light at the other end of the tunnel.
Wow.
You grow up and you like your children.
That's tough.
And they
That's
like
tough.
you sometimes.
Yeah, emphasis on the sometimes, for sure.
All right, Kendrick, you tell us some things, but is there like maybe something, event or something that just kind of stands out for you?
In what way?
Whether it's something that we did together or something that we did as a family, but some, like a memorable childhood memory. Wow.
Yes, I do. This one, no, stop, because there's so many.
Oh, great save.
Ain't no great save. I really was sitting there trying to think. But anyway, one that I like, which is like, I'm gonna do it because I don't care. So me and my mom, we went to go see this terrible movie. Not her fit. Yeah, you know what I'm talking about. We saw the movie Gigli, rhymes with really. I don't know if any of these people listening know that movie, but it's awful. I think it's got Ben Affleck in it. And it's not a good movie. Unfortunately. Although I think I liked it when I was little because I hadn't really formed opinions and things. But I'll watch a movie like, great. After we finish watching this movie, we walk out and Barbara's like, we're gonna go to this one. Now, I was like, but wait, because I'm a child of Barbara. And Barbara always raises her kids to do the right thing, even when no one is looking, having integrity and whatnot. And y'all, we snuck into the next movie. And I was like, what? Barbara, a rule breaker? This was back when it was Fun Barbara. This was Fun Barbara. This wasn't Barbara. And we went and snuck into the Italian Job. I think I fell asleep, though, because I was like full from the hot dogs and popcorn. But I remember waking up and like there being a big car scene. But it was just the fact that we snuck into a movie that was lit for me because, who doesn't like to have a little mischief and whatnot? And AMC, if you're listening to this, we're so sorry. Don't get us on back order with the money on the ticket. They made the money grossing just from you airing the movie. So like you could let these 2 tickets slide. But yeah, that's a fun memory. I like that one.
Now,
I got other ones too.
What, about 8 years old, maybe 8 or 9?
Yeah, I want to say I was young. I don't know, 8, 7, one of those.
It's like
The
20
best one
years
though.
ago. I just
Yeah,
want to say 20 years ago, people, I'm different now.
I told y'all, Fun Barbara, R.I.P. We miss her. But a greater memory, I would say, which is kind of still in the theme of what we're talking about, is still this is the Fun Barbara days. And I was in school, and I get a call from the office, and they're like, "Send Kendrick Scorza to the front office. He's being checked out." And that's a kid's favorite dream to not have to be at school. Oh, I'm still excited about it. And I ain't even been in school for like 7 years now. Yikes. Anyway, so Barbara is in her car. Is this the Pathfinder days, Mom? Did you have the Pathfinder at this time?
I think I did.
I think you did. It was white, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, big white. Yep. So I get in the car, and Barbara's facing like this. And I was like, "What you doing?" And then she turns. Oh, she got a nose ring, y'all. I think she had the little the stud, not the hoop. All right. And what side was it on?
My left.
Yeah, that one. And so she's like, "We're going to Florida," and I was like, "What?" Because you don't know what's going on. I just got checked out of school because back then, if I was getting checked out or whatever, if it was something fun for me, fun equaled food. So like, I got a surprise. Barbara would tell me like, I got a surprise coming home from work late, maybe because I was at the house with my grandma, and she pull up with a bag of hot chips. So I thought, that would be the thing, right? Oh, we gonna do this. We went to Florida, Pensacola. We went tubing, and so we get our tubes, we get in the water, we're going along with the little current, and I am enjoying life. I have no cares in the world. I'm jellyfishing, as you can see my mom doing in the graphic below. Literally just not a care in the world, just chilling. And we have people who pass, and they're like in their little path, they're kayaking, they're canoeing. We're chatting because we're friendly, sociable Black people, as you would be in the Scorza household. And day turns to midday, midday turns to evening, evening turns to like basically night. Like it's getting to where the freaks come out at night. Like my mom probably think that they got some gators or something out there. Because my favorite thing that I would do as we were going is Barbara had her tube in mine, and I'd be like, "Let go," and I'd like go almost to the current. And I don't even know how to swim, y'all. And that's to show you how carefree I was. I was so carefree that despite me not knowing how to swim, I was ready to just go with the flow, because in that river, it reminded me of being like at a lazy river, at a water park. And for y'all who don't know me, I am very much go with the flow. I love to not have to think and just relax and do. And so as I'm sitting here doing this, Barbara's the opposite. She panicking, probably sweating, like, "Oh my goodness, we're gonna get ate up. Ain't nobody gonna be able to find us." But we came back to where we were eventually, a little cold, but a memory nonetheless that I'll never forget and cherish in my heart forever.
I actually talked about that on one of the episodes.
For
I did. Yeah, that's great, I guess.
You have fun. It's fun looking back on it. It wasn't fun in the moment, but it's fun. It's funny now.
Well, it was fun once I realized that we had made it back to where we needed to be. That's where the fun part was. Because I was like, the bears are going to come out, wolves are going to come out, alligators are going to come out. I just knew everything was going to eat us, and nobody was going to know to look for us. We would be found dead in Florida, and nobody would know to look for us because I didn't even tell anybody we were going. We just left. Yeah, the crazy things I do. That's why I plan my life.
Nah, she used to be spontaneity's finest, y'all. But don't worry, I have the helm now. I'm gonna keep it for the two of us.
All right, Kendrick. Is it? I don't know how long we've been talking, but I thought maybe you might want to ask me those rapid fire questions and give people an opportunity to get to know me as I think of the answers quickly. So that means no difficult questions.
No difficult questions, no promises, sister girl. I'm gonna ask you 7, since 7 is the number of completion. Yeah. All right. So, question number one. You pull up into the greatest city that we all know as New Orleans. Yeah, y'all thought I was going to say New York. It's New Orleans forever and always, baby. Anyway, you pull up into the city of New Orleans. Um, what is your go-to entree with side and beverage?
I get
I'm
a
about to say
po'
we talking
boy.
about you.
Yeah, a po' boy, half and half. Fried catfish and fried shrimp with American cheese and mayo, lettuce and tomatoes and pickles. And I
Is that
want,
a fully dressed po' boy out here?
yes, no hot sauce though. I don't do hot
Oh,
sauce.
okay.
And French fries and a pineapple soda. Pineapple big shot.
I'm about to say, yeah, and it's not a soda, it's a
It's
cold
not
drink.
it's a cold drink in New Orleans. That's right. Pineapple big shot.
All right, boom. Okay, second question. If you could go anywhere in the world, money is not an object, where would you go? And what's one activity that you would do there?
Hmm. Three places come to mind, but I'm gonna say that I would go to Venice because I'd love to take a ride on the canal, the Venice Canal.
Okay, one of them. Are those gondolas? Is that what they're called, or is
Yeah.
that like? I think
Mhm.
okay. 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 Um, what is your favorite thing about your family?
Oh, my favorite thing about my family is that they're fun. When we get together, we laugh and joke and just have fun. Like just being in the presence of my kids makes me happy.
Okay. Um, that was how many questions? Three?
Three.
Yeah, it was. So we're on the fourth. Okay. Fourth question. Card games. Spoons or spades?
Spades.
Oh yeah, that was no brainer. All right. Fifth question. Let's see. Yeah, I'm ad-libbing these questions, but I really like my first four. Well, since we're over halfway through, because this is five, we only got three questions left. Let's ask some questions with some weight, shall we? All right, here we go. Fifth question. Um, what is something that you wish you knew now that you didn't know before?
That I wish I knew now that I didn't know before. I don't know. I think one of the things that and it's not regret. So regret isn't the word for it, but one of the things that was really sad and traumatic in my life was my divorce. So I wish I had known to that who I was at 25 was not going to be who I was at 35 or at 45, which means that I needed to stick it out. I needed to grow with it because I would be a different person.
That's good. All right, our second to last question because we have two more. Let me see something with weight. Something with weight. Um, if no, I don't like that one. Sorry, y'all. Um, I got one. All right, family member, past or present. What's something you wish that you could share with them now?
Mhm. Um, Kevin, I just wish that I could share with him, um, what that he could get to see his kids and see you now, just to be able to share a lot of those experiences that I say missed, but as a Christ follower, it's only a miss from our perspective because when you're in heaven, you're not missing the madness that's here on earth. And heaven is actually where we're trying to get. But I would like to share with him. I think I did a pretty good job at telling him and showing him that I loved him. That's one thing I like to do. I like to make sure I want people to have memories of me. And I want people to know that they're loved now because I don't know what tomorrow holds. But I'd love to be able to sit down and just have a conversation with him again and tell him all the things that we've done and the things that his kids have accomplished. Because when he died, he's been dead since 2011. So he's been dead 12 years. So kids were 8, 9, and 11. And you were what?
I was 16.
15, 16.
Yeah. Or, well, because it was 2011, January 3rd. So that means I was, what, was it 15 going
I
on
think you were
16?
15
No.
going on 16, huh?
Okay. Yeah, that's not right. Because, well, yeah, because I remember when Ma passed
No,
away,
you
I
were
was 16.
16 because you drove him
Yeah,
to the hospital that morning.
that's right.
And that was
Yeah, I was about to say,
the first time that he had ridden with you
with
alone.
me ever. It was the
Yeah,
first and last. Isn't that
yeah,
crazy?
it is crazy.
And I'm a way better driver now. I wasn't bad before though, but I remember him being nervous. It was funny because we didn't really talk much in the car on the way there. Um, yeah, I've been thinking about stuff like that too sometimes. So I good. All right, last question. I'm trying not to get emotional on air. You got to
Me
pay
too.
extra to see the tears.
Me too.
No.
That was a rough one.
Last question is you are looking at child Barbara. So, your younger self, probably in those early days when you used to hide your vitamins in the cracks of the steps at the old house. And this is you now. What would you now tell that Barbara who was hiding those vitamins in the cracks of the steps?
Back then I was probably about 4 or 5. And I think I just encourage myself and say, it's going to be okay. You're going to go through a lot of hard stuff, but you make sure you keep your head up and know that it's going to be okay. And the hard stuff will not break you. It will only make you stronger. So you keep your head up. So don't let it take you down. Just go on through it.
And that's my
That's
second
what
question.
I say. Wow, Kendrick, those were great. I'm
Thank
glad
you.
to see my money at work. That
Not
degree.
your money at work. That's funny.
That theater degree, performing. I'm glad to see it at work. Yay.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Well, Kendrick, I really, really enjoyed this. Maybe you'll consider doing something like this again with me, and we'll have a specific topic and we can talk about it through the generations. What you see from your perspective and what I see from my perspective. And then we'll see what scripture says about it.
I'm dead. Hilarious.
But I want to thank everyone for listening. I hope you enjoyed this episode and getting to know me a little bit better and getting to know Kendrick. And remember, I want you to do the right thing because it's the right thing to do. I always love to hear from you. You can visit the website, www.mymorningthought.com. You can send me an email at barbara@mymorningthought.com. You can go to the Facebook page at mymorningthought.com. If you have my number, text me, or you can call me. If you see me in the streets, pull me aside and let me know you've been listening. I love hearing from you. And I'm going to have in the description, there'll be a number that you can call and leave me a voice message if you like. And if you have some questions or some ideas that you'd like for us to talk about, because I want you to say you want Kendrick to come back. If you have some things that you'd like for us to talk about, send them to me. Let us know. then maybe I can coax him into doing this again.
Silly.
Thank you, Kendrick. It has been real.
Yep, it's been real. It's been fun, but it ain't been real fun. I'm just playing. I just really wanted to say.
Glad I gave you that platform.
Do I have any last words?
Yes, absolutely.
All right, last thing before I go, because I've been saving this bit. But y'all, I live in New York. It's expensive. Also in her description box, I will be leaving places for you to send money. If you're wanting to support a struggling person in New York. Venmo, PayPal, Cash App, Zelle. I also take letters, like just of admiration. Like if you want to just pour some words into me. But money helps too.
Admiration or affirmation?
Both. Both of them. Capital B, capital O, capital A, capital F. Both of them. But yeah, that's it. And thank you so much for having me. It was a lot of fun.
Thank you, Kendrick. All right, everybody. Have a fantastic day.
Bye.
Thanks again for joining me. And always remember to do the right thing because it's the right thing to do. So go ahead and subscribe so you'll be notified when new episodes are published. And I'm your host, Barbara Scorza, and our music was by Ashat Daniel Yan. I'm trying to figure out how to stop it.
I know you are. That's why I kept standing there with my face. I was like, I'm a whole